Oh no! Wait. There we are.
There she is.
Hello, T. Oh no!
Mick. And hi to people
There we are.
who are watching us, hopefully. I'm making a pledge now that next season I will have a much better camera. It will be set up. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. This has been a pretty hodgepodge sort of setup. But I mean, we can't be in the same room, and we're just trying to make it work on YouTube Live and whatever. It's okay. It's a start.
I think you've done bloody well, Mick. Like, congratulations. You've had a stellar day, and you've done well. And I mean, let's be honest, I don't really want to be in the same room with you anyway. So we're good.
Oh, what? Come on.
I'm kidding.
Now that we live only within 5 kilometers,
I know.
We can have picnics and everything tomorrow.
Well, I'm not the double vex though, not yet.
Oh,
I'm on my way.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. The finale. We are done. We are dusted. We have watched the whole ending. Watching that that final challenge was a friggin' doozy. But
I was I was tearing up. Did they have to play that music? Like, they really doubled down, and
it's just like she's. It was like Ave Maria, sort of like.
It was worse than a blooming Grey's Anatomy death. Like, it just took so long, and I was getting really emotional, and I was just mad. I was like, stop making me care so much. God, that was crazy. Have you ever seen a challenge like that?
I tweeted during the thing, like, the Australian Survivor Australia producers are just sadistic, because it goes back to that challenge they did like season 1 when they rebooted, and they had to stand on that rock with their hand on the pole, and the water was splashing in. It was dark and it was cold, and it was just like, I mean, it looks simple, like they're just standing there touching something, but it's just like,
I'd take that over what they did tonight. That was like, okay, that was a real mental thing, because you're probably looking at, firstly, you know me, I've been saying all season about your feet, and because my feet are constantly sore, that would be my nightmare. But it was like your brain, because really, if you had gone to your extreme, you would have been like, probably not squash. They probably had a safety thing, but you could have really fallen on those poles sticking up, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gone again.
Oh, what? You're gone again? Sorry.
Yeah.
My
That's
bad.
all right. Oh, hello. Hey. Hey.
I'm still trying to tweet out to our fam that we're on, because I forgot to use the hashtag like an idiot.
Oh, like I always do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Just ignore me if I'm moving around. I'm just playing with my new office chair.
Wow.
This is the peak excitement. Survivor finale and new office chair.
I mean, we're talking about people standing on poles and surviving, holding like a thing above their heads, and they're talking about your new office chair. I mean, it's the comparisons,
and I've gone really blurry. So again, it's been hodgepodge, terrible. I would stop watching at this point too, but just listen to our lovely voices. Just get into it. Oh, look, I've gone anyway. I'm back again.
I don't know why it does that.
Okay, let's get into it. This was it was a good episode. I just couldn't believe how full on they went with Flick getting eliminated, as Flick did. She was eliminated, and she needed to win.
Yeah, she did. I mean,
different story.
I mean, Flick would have gone last week if she didn't win as well. Like, she's actually been living by the skin of her teeth for a number of weeks.
So, at the end of the day, like, could she have said? I'm just skipping ahead a little bit. Obviously, George and Hayley, they get their time to put their, and that was, we'll get to that, because George was hilarious. But do you think Flick I think Flick might have won, but I think she would have won on likability.
It's actually strange to think how she would have gone at the end. Like, people seem to, I think people think maybe she was a bit too quiet. She didn't play the game as well as some other people did. So there would have been some, I know, but some jury members might have gone, well, we don't think you should win because you didn't play the game as strong or as hard as Hayley and George did. But you're right, for the likability factor and for the warm vibes, and the stuff, and really she was the last remaining brawn, and she did well to outlast all of those guys. So
and I think that was a lot on likability.
Yeah, totally.
I think, and that's something that people. I don't think it wins it for you, but it certainly can take you a long way. I think
it's ironic in the end that George, who was always obviously thinking about who he wanted to take to the final too.
Yes.
He wanted Cara. I mean, ultimately he would have loved Cara there at the end, but it was never going to happen.
Did you notice she didn't go and hug him at the end? I know I'm skipping ahead, but
We've got to talk about that. We'll get to that.
Okay, good.
Okay. I thought George lasted 3.5 hours, which is a pretty bloody good effort on this ridiculously hard challenge.
For pure boredom, I wouldn't want to do it. I would just be bored. And also just standing up for 3.5. When was the last time you stood up for 3.5 hours, Mick?
Oh, I don't know. I've done that. I've gone for walks
for
like 3 or 4 hours, like not that long ago, the other weekend.
Sure. And did you do it after not eating proper food for 40 days?
No.
No. So, mate, I don't understand how these people are so good at challenges. I just don't get it.
Well, yeah. I mean, George. I suppose in the end it wasn't that hard, but it was later. But like initially, it wasn't that hard. Like,
yeah, you
standing
were
up.
standing there.
Yes, it will hurt your feet, but you're just like, okay, I'll deal with that. But as it got lower and lower,
hold your arms up for 3.5 hours and talk to me after that.
Yeah. Oh, your blood would just be running like, out of your hands, wouldn't it? I don't know.
If I didn't see the sun going down, I'd stop believing that was how long they were doing it for, because I just don't understand.
Yeah, you're right. But like when it got lower, like I could just see the pressure on your quads, like as you just crouch down for that long. Like, you know, you try and just sit in a crouch for like 10 minutes. Your quads would be burning.
Mate. I'm still stuck with the hands can't go up for 3.5 hours.
But they were using that. So they were sort of holding onto it, like trying to pull themselves up or taking some of the pressure off their legs, because that was the only way you'd do it.
I would have been off those things in 2 minutes. I would have been like, I'm done. So take me to final.
Well, I'm sort of surprised at George. I mean, I'm glad he didn't, because he's given up on other challenges before. But ultimately, I always had the thought that he was going to go to the final two no matter what. I think he was going to get through no matter who won.
That 3, he was. Because
the
girls knew that the best chance was to take George because he was unliked.
Yeah, exactly. He was unliked. They thought they could beat him. Either one would have taken him because they thought they could beat him. And the fact that he actually went 3.5 hours, good on you, George. Like you've screwed up other challenges. You've given up. You've not tried. You know that you're not physical. But you know, props to him for lasting that long.
It's a shame he didn't do that in front of the jury. Like, I think if the jury had have seen him do that, that might have swayed a few more people.
Maybe not. Maybe Danny's the big one that they had to sway, but so ultimately, 3.5 hours, great stuff. But Hayley and Flick, 5 freaking hours. I mean, what are the family and friends doing when they're watching this? Do they get some KFC to eat or what?
My whole time I was like, please don't ever ask me to come see you on Survivor, because I don't want to sit there in dust and cold and heat and mosquitoes for 5.5 hours just watching you going, please don't. You make it on there, Mac. I don't want to come.
What I wrote on Twitter is that I hoped they brought like big KFC meals out for the people watching, and then they could smell it while they're doing the challenge and just KFC.
And also they could have sped this challenge up a lot more too. They clearly wanted it to go to nighttime.
Oh, it didn't seem like they moved it for like
3.5 hours.
Because they did the first move after like half an hour.
Yeah.
And then the second move was like, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then the third move was at 5 hours.
It just didn't need to last. Gosh, that's brutal. Survivor, you're all sadistic. Seriously, but we love it. We love it.
Sadistic as.
Yeah.
And then Nick Adanza was on Twitter as well. He says he would love to have tried it. I'm just like, that's a bit crazy. I wouldn't want to do that.
I mean, I'd probably like to stand there and be like, oh, okay, can't do this. But no, we should talk about the people they brought along to watch them as well. Are you surprised about Flick's partner?
Well, look, I initially thought maybe it was a dad. Like, maybe he had kids young or something. And then a big kiss on the lips. And I'm like, okay.
I thought it was her brother. I didn't really know. I was like, okay, some people kiss their brothers. Yeah, like some families are close. And then utterly silent for the most, or at least they edited that he was the silent guy. And then he's like, he said some good stuff. But I was like, wow, but it explains why there were no romances, because I think everyone seemed to have had partners in this season.
I think so. George doesn't have a partner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know if George knows what George wants. I think I don't. He wants to be a political operative, which he is. So that's the politics is his partner. His partners.
Yes, he's married. He's married to politics. He's married to his party.
Yeah.
Yes. So he brought his mum and his sister, she was very quiet, and they were bawling. Like he must be really close to his mum or something. But like they were bawling.
I must look again. Also, you're probably pretty emotional. Like, no food for 40 days. I think. Can you imagine? No sugar. I would have died. But anyway, they're close family, and he wanted to. I felt sweet that he wanted to do it for himself. I found it interesting that Hayley was the only one who said I want to do it to prove it to myself, and she's the one that was successful then. So, does that mean you've just got to be selfish?
Oh yeah, nah.
She was so determined. That was incredible.
So that's it. Hayley wins. It seemed pretty like Flick had to be helped off the bloody apparatus because she was just like struggling so hard, and Hayley just jumped off. I'm good. Yeah, have a hug. She could have gone another bloody 5 hours. I mean,
whatever she is taking or teaching herself or had done, I want some of that. I can't make it through 4 burpees, and I just want to be able to tell myself that I can.
Now we've got to watch out. We've got Amanda Dunn on the line. Hey Amanda, thanks for watching us.
Hello, Amanda.
And Amanda says, why didn't George say that he used challenges to talk to the other contestants, shoring up his alliances?
Oh, that is such a good.
He often did that. You're right. He would go to the bench and then he would start whispering in people's ears.
Because a lot of when you look at Hayley and him actually developed quite a close relationship, and when you look at it now, because I remember back to that reward, and he won that reward, and she was second, and they were cha, and he was also always talking to Danny too. So, which you never saw them on the main screen, the main storyline. So, yeah, he should have said that. Really good point.
Another good point. Another thing I thought is when Flick was struggling on that final challenge, why didn't she start talking to Hayley? Just saying, hey, like trying to actually just try and make a deal. Because you've seen this before, right? You go, I'm, why don't we just make a deal? You take me to the final 2 and I'll jump off. I mean, Hayley probably wouldn't have fallen for it, but she could have tried. Like that was your last chance. Like try something.
I was quite surprised. I wonder though, and I hark back to my days as an athlete. I think you just think you can do it, and I think Flick just went. And I know it was really fun. You know how she kind of looked over at one moment and she just gave that look, and I was like, "You're done." And they cut to her partner, and I think they knew she was done too. Yeah. There's just when you've been out there competing and especially like what she's done, the big waves, I think there's great strength in it, as that you can push, but you also know you do know your limits. Oh, and so her look was, I'm done. So I think she wasn't. I think she tried to muscle it and then didn't.
And I think I know Jonathan was talking about it being a mental thing. I actually think it was more of a physical thing in the end, in that just keeping that position with your legs. Yeah.
And I think actually having bigger quads wasn't actually helpful.
Yeah, maybe
it wasn't. It was just too much muscle. And I tell you, there would have probably been way more lactate in Flick's muscles than Hayley's.
T the athlete giving us the update there.
T the athlete, thank you. I didn't swim for 20 years not to be able to give you this delightful information.
Inside info. I got no idea what you're talking about.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
But really good point, Amanda. Amazing. Thank you for watching. Yeah.
So there we go. We go to the final tribal. Hayley gets to pick who she takes, and Flick and George give their pitches.
Why did they bother having a tribal walk to the thing? What the hell is that?
It went for ages too, didn't it? Wait. No, the walk to the challenge took ages, but they went straight to the tribal council after the challenge. Yeah, it was full.
Oh, I kept thinking like when everyone was hugging her and like her partner who hasn't seen her in like however long, I'm like, does she not stink? Like, is that not? I'm so surprised. I'm like, are you not like, oh, you're so dirty? I love you, but you're dirty. Yuck.
they would have not smelt good at all. But of course,
because every time they come into the jury, they're like, "You stink." And we talked about this last time, and I was like, "I don't care about food. I'm having a shower." Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, but in the end, Flick was trying to convince Hayley that that George was going to be more of a competition than her, but it wasn't really convincing.
Nobody believed that for a second. No, sorry, Flick. You're playing on. Your mum died, and you're playing on. And you think that you're less of a threat than this guy that everybody hates? No.
So boom, bing, bam, boom, boom. We go to the final breakfast.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't know what I was going with. Bada bing, bada boom. I was trying to do that, but I just got it mixed up.
Okay.
Oh, they make their breakfast. Yes, they make their final breakfast, and they do.
Yeah, that's really sweet. But I mean, nice. I don't. You'll be like watching your family and friends going to the hotel or probably the jury villa, and you have to go back and sleep on the floor one more night.
Yeah. One more time though. That last night would probably feel. You probably wouldn't sleep much though. Hey,
I don't think you could.
You probably didn't sleep much the whole time, but that last night you'd just be going over in your head.
Do you think they cuddled up to each other? Just the two of them? Because that would be for Flick. Actually, my because Flick and I are probably about similar sizes, I reckon. My selling point would have been like, Hayley, I will be Big Spoon tonight. Do you want to cuddle with that guy or do you want to cuddle with me? Me.
Totally.
He might strangle you in your sleep. I will just keep you warm.
George, the final stab in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that he got to the point. Like, George has swindled his way through every single situation. He's found idols. He's, done deals. Yeah. He's lied. He's manipulated. He's got his way through in every way possible. But when it gets to the end, you cannot do that. But he was still a politician right till the bloody end, because when he was talking and giving his pitch, I want to skip forward a little bit, because Emmett asked him, would he play the same way, knowing everything that he knows, again, if he had it all again, and George just didn't answer. He just started.
He gave the most beautiful politician's answer of no answer. But I love Emmett. Emmett's so dumb. He's like, I don't know how I can ask. I'm like, no, you're dealing with a politician. You aren't going to get an answer. Just move on. Just move on. Let it go. But even it was beautiful. And he's like, thank you for your question. It's really good. There's lots of important things in there. Let me just address what I can.
Yeah.
Forget about it. George is done. Let's let him have the 11 o'clock briefings. We'll bring him back and he can do that.
Oh, my gosh. Great. Okay, George, you're up tomorrow for the presser from Bankstown.
Come back in, George. Yep, you can do it straight from Bankstown. You can give us the update. Well, I really believe that if maybe you look in there.
Yeah, so what you do, politicians answer questions with questions, right? So you've got
they answer questions with no answer.
Well, no answers, and they just ask more great questions back.
I actually don't know about this whole dynamic between having politicians and journalists doing it anymore, because no one's getting what they want. So why do we bother?
Yeah, I hope they don't choose another politician in a hurry. Because
but he's enjoyable though.
Well, no, he did. He was entertaining. And if he got booted out, he was almost out the first bloody week. He wasn't far off.
What a shame. We would have missed out on so many gold moments of George, which we didn't do the top 10, so it's a shame. But even the way he took the questions, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You are really a politician.
So I read on Twitter, JLP tweeted that they cut the whole opening statement that George had when he was doing his pitch for himself and talking to the jury. Okay. So I don't know how much more he had to say, but apparently JL said it was really amazing, what he said and how he said it, but they cut it from the whole broadcast. So really strange. How long did he talk?
JLP's come out and said that.
Yeah, he said it tonight. So it was quite surprising, but a lot of editing going on too. And did you see Way ask a question? Did Way ask a question at the end?
No, I was going to tweet that. I said Way didn't ask a question.
Strange.
That was odd. Yeah, you could tell it was really edited, and it wasn't I didn't enjoy that because you knew you were missing stuff. Haley gave a good speech. She was so I couldn't have remembered all that without writing it down. So well done.
She was a lot more methodical, like going through step by step, trying to explain it. And sometimes I think it's good. It also got to be boring, but it was also useful for everyone to understand what she was doing in the background, and maybe they didn't realize.
Yeah. I mean, I love that George was like, I sat in the grass. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, people were probably surprised at that, but you saw Andrew's face. He's just like,
oh my God. Can we just spend a moment speaking about Andrew? God, it's been 6 weeks, mate. Like, get over it.
Wait, did he ask a question either?
Yes, he did. He said, I told you guys that these two were the most dangerous players.
Oh,
and
that's
you didn't
right.
listen to me. Yeah. And then he said he was still mad about it. And I'm like, you're not that important.
Yeah, he held
you
a
weren't
grudge.
That likable. Stop. Just stop. People like George more than you. Stop. Yep. Yeah, Andrew is... Oh, please go back to your Survivor and go away. Don't ever come back.
I was trying to work out throughout the jury chat as to who was going to vote for who. And at first I thought Danny might vote for George, but then she asked him the questions about why he gave up and didn't. Oh, she kept on saying, as the challenge beast, she's proclaiming herself.
Oh, my
Settle
Lord.
down. She's got tickets on herself.
Go take your car and drive off to the outback, babe.
She can.
Go get lost.
But then I had 4 people down to vote for George originally. But then bit by bit I realised I can't see anyone voting for him except for Cara.
So I don't know if the way that and I wonder if they almost made Laura do it, otherwise it would have been really bad.
No, they've had Survivor finals before where it's been like unanimous, like almost like one, it's pretty normal. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty clear from the outset the way they edited it. So I'm really disappointed. I hope they didn't edit it just so that we would be like, oh, it's going to be Haley.
But another thing,
it was blatantly going to be Haley.
They filmed 2 endings.
Yeah, I heard this. I was going to ask you about this.
What the hell? I didn't know this until the Guidefather on Twitter said it. But he reckons that they filmed 2 endings and they both have to act like they've won.
Yeah, because I was watching to see what it was like, and it was pretty like generic. I think Haley would have been crying if she had won.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Like, but I mean, they had to act like each one would have had to act like they won. So they didn't really focus on anything. It was all just a bit of a shemozzle, and everyone was like,
it was messy, and I don't know why they did it, but I guess they didn't want it to be leaked out. But
well, let's just bloody hope next season they can actually have the live reunion. On a stage somewhere and people can go and watch, because that just makes it so much better. I love it when they announce it in front of people, not filmed, pre-filmed, pre-recorded. It sucks.
So what normally happens is they do the voting there, and then they get everyone back together and do a bit of a reunion. Hey?
Yeah, Jeff Probst used to duck out with the votes, get in a helicopter and bugger off. It was awesome. And then he'd come back onto the live reunion in the same clothes. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. I used to like that. I missed that. I miss that magical bus tour that they used to do with the votes.
But they've done the Australian Survivor. They've done a couple of times, just with the reading out the result straight after the vote, and I feel like it's all a bit rushed.
So what are they? So my question, and I was trying with that in mind, I was trying to figure that out. So they film it with them both saying yay, but so does he not read the votes out to them? Wouldn't they see just then?
Yeah, like does he just fabricate votes? Because everyone knows who voted for who, you would think.
Yeah.
So how do you pretend that someone else won?
And just walk away and go, who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for?
Exactly.
Oh,
it'd be pretty quick.
Won.
I'm 100% sure that all of the contestants knew who actually won by now.
Well, surely.
By now. They would have known. It wasn't like Haley's sitting at home watching Channel 10 tonight going, oh, I won. Like, she knew.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if they're going to have both of them on the project tomorrow.
Let's just advertise for the project, shall we?
Oh, well, no, I just want to see them in real life. See them in real life. I'm pretty excited.
That's the whole purpose of that show, is for cross-promotion.
Haley was amazing. So, just not to spoil it for anyone, but Haley won. But because we didn't even talk about that. But, my gosh, but for George to only get 2 votes, I was a bit surprised.
And Laura voted for him, which I was surprised at.
Yeah.
I seriously, in the end, thought only one person would vote for him, but she did.
Okay, so jumping to that, why did Cara not give him a big hug at the end of it?
I didn't notice that. But like I said, they probably filmed this thing multiple times, so you might not have seen.
Must say, Cara was looking smoking, lady. Your lashes looked lovely.
She's gone to a nightclub with that. Like she's massive lipstick, red lipstick on.
Yeah, that's what she's the Duchess of Double Bay. That's what she does, man.
Okay,
and Flick was looking good, and I was like,
yeah,
I wonder if Flick she got to catch up with her partner. I'd love to know more about that situation.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying. I reckon. Yeah, none of my business. I'm curious.
All right. You follow her on Insta. You might find out.
Yeah, maybe. Could do. Like a bit of follow. We got anything else to talk about? That's it.
That's it. Season's done.
That's a new series.
There was a big promo just near the end for the new season in February 2022.
I thought they'd have some footage, but they didn't.
Well, they haven't filmed it yet.
Well, no, they've started, and that's what we talked about the other day. And also,
you said they were casting for it, but they haven't filmed it.
No. They had started filming it.
Oh.
Well, they will be starting.
Yeah, they haven't started yet.
And it's...
I reckon.
But it's definitely cast. It's because you can't apply, because I looked. In fact, it might even be... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it started. Because they asked for 20s and 30-year-olds this one. So I thought... And that came the big debate about who was actually older than that in the series.
Oh, yeah.
And might I point out that... Rachel...
I think we worked out. Oh,
sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Rachel was over 40.
Baden.
Yeah.
Oh, Baden's over 40. Rachel's 50. She looks better than Baden. But anyway, I did notice. I was like, Georgie, you're looking a bit older, mate. That really took it out of you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. They're starting to film it, I guess. I just thought maybe they'd wait until this season was done before they started filming the next one. But they must be pretty. If it's in February,
it must take ages to edit it.
Mm.
Can you imagine being the guy? Honestly, I think I've talked about this before. The guy who's like, girl, who has to stay by the campfire and film them and just listen to them fart and snore.
Yeah.
Especially if you'd come back from the KFC one, you would be.
Oh, that'd be dirty. Do you reckon what was the big thing they were talking about in the ad though? Like they're trying to make it out like some big deal.
Yeah.
You won't believe
a storm is coming.
A storm, unless
they're putting a Melbourne Storm player in there.
Oh no, don't do
that. Who was it? Who's retired? Who's the one that's big one who's just retired?
Well, last year, Cameron Smith. No. But this isn't. It's not a celebrity one. Oh shit! But it doesn't matter. They still put celebrities.
Doesn't
in
matter. They can throw some people in.
We'll see. Anyway, top-notch season.
I'm excited. Great season. It's been a pleasure to recap it with you, Mick.
Oh, you too, T. It's been fun and definitely much more enjoyable than Married at First Sight.
Yeah, we'll not be returning to Married at First Sight. So sorry if we've carried any fans over, but it's not going to happen because we both love our sanity and our lives more.
Totally.
It's probably going to be an absolute shit show of a season too. I can only imagine.
What? Oh, next season.
Maths. I'm talking about maths.
Oh, because they keep pushing it every year, like further and further.
Yeah, and plus, like with COVID, like how's that going to work?
Well, they did it this year.
Oh, okay.
Beginning of the year.
Cool.
All right, Surviving Australia done for 2021.
That's it.
Well done. On your Hayley.
Yeah, I mean, to no one's surprise, Hayley won. Like
she got through everything. She made it through.
She was amazing.
She got kicked out. Remember?
International one.
Oh, well, I know. I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love it if they actually brought in best survivors from around the world into like an international one. They should do that.
That would be good. I reckon I'd back her.
I'd back David probably for
Dave,
a shot.
The Golden God.
Mm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think he'd go great.
Absolutely, he is one of the best.
All right, see you, T.
See ya.
Catch us later.
Everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.